Hey everyone, listen up. 2025 is here, and if you want to level up, you need to understand this. Not everything in your life is meant for public consumption. Too many people sabotage their own success because they give away their power. Oversharing, seeking validation, letting the wrong people into their business. Your long-term goals are the blueprint for your future, the vision that drives you forward. But here's the truth. Sharing them too soon can do more harm than good. When you talk about your dreams and aspirations before they are solidified, you open yourself up to unnecessary criticism, doubt, and external influence that can derail your focus. People have opinions, and most of the time, those opinions are rooted in their own fears and limitations, not yours. They will tell you what's realistic, what's too risky, and why you should settle for less. If you're not careful, you'll start believing them, and that's the fastest way to kill a dream before it even has a chance to take shape. The moment you vocalize a goal, your brain rewards you with a small dopamine hit, almost as if you've already achieved something. This can create a false sense of accomplishment, tricking your mind into feeling like you've already made progress when in reality, you haven't taken any action. That's why so many people get stuck in the cycle of talking about their dreams instead of working on them. They tell everyone what they're going to do, and then months or even years later, nothing has changed. Their energy went into sharing rather than executing. When you keep your goals private, you retain full control over your motivation and momentum. You're not seeking validation or approval from others, and that gives you the freedom to adjust your plans as needed without outside pressure. You're not constantly explaining yourself, justifying your decisions, or defending your vision to people who don't see what you see. Instead, you're locked in, focused, and committed to making things happen without interference. Another danger of sharing your goals too soon is the potential for envy and sabotage. Not everyone in your circle wants to see you win. Some people secretly hope you stay the same because your growth threatens their comfort zone. They may act supportive on the surface, but deep down they don't want you to succeed beyond them. This can manifest in subtle ways, planting seeds of doubt, discouraging you under the guise of concern, or even actively working against you. By keeping your goals private, you eliminate this risk. You move strategically, making progress behind the scenes, and when you finally reveal your success, it's already done. Discipline is another key reason why keeping your long-term goals private is essential. When no one knows what you're working on, the only person holding you accountable is you. This forces you to develop a higher level of self-discipline because there's no external pressure to perform. You're not doing it for the applause or recognition, you're doing it because it matters to you. This internal drive is what separates those who succeed from those who merely dream. The strongest motivation comes from within, not from external validation. There's also a strategic advantage in silence. When you don't announce your moves, you have the flexibility to pivot, refine, and execute without external expectations weighing you down. Plans evolve, obstacles arise, and sometimes the path you initially envisioned needs to be adjusted. If you've already broadcasted your intentions to the world, it becomes harder to make changes without feeling like you're backtracking. But when you keep things to yourself, you can make decisions based on what's best for you, not based on what others expect. Moving in silence doesn't mean you lack confidence. It means you value results over recognition. It means you're focused on action rather than empty words. You're building something real, and real success doesn't need an audience until the work is done. Keep your long-term goals private, protect your vision, and let your results be the proof. Your financial situation is one of the most personal aspects of your life, and in 2025, keeping it private is not just wise, it's necessary. Money has a way of attracting both good and bad attention, and the more people know about your financial standing, the more opinions, expectations, and hidden agendas you invite into your life. Whether you're doing well or struggling, discussing your financial situation openly can lead to unnecessary complications that drain your energy, shift your focus, and even put you in a vulnerable position. When people perceive you as financially successful, you become a target for opportunists. Friends, family, acquaintances, and even strangers may start seeing you as a resource rather than a person. They may expect you to help them out, invest in their ideas, or bail them out of their own financial troubles. While generosity is a great quality, being seen as an endless source of financial support can quickly become a burden. The moment you start saying no, relationships can shift, resentment can build, and suddenly, the people who once praised you may begin to question your character. Keeping your finances private protects you from these uncomfortable situations and allows you to give on your own terms, not out of obligation. On the flip side, if you're struggling financially, sharing too much can lead to judgment and unsolicited advice. People will tell you what you should be doing with your money, how you should be budgeting, or what sacrifices you need to make. While some advice may come from a good place, not everyone understands your full situation, and listening to too many voices can create confusion rather than clarity. Instead of feeling empowered to fix your financial standing, you may find yourself feeling overwhelmed, ashamed, or pressured to make decisions based on how others perceive your situation rather than what's best for you. Social media has made it even easier for people to flaunt their financial status, whether real or exaggerated. But the truth is, real wealth doesn't need to be broadcasted. Those who are truly secure in their finances understand that money is a tool, not a performance. When you constantly showcase your purchases, your lifestyle, or your income, you invite unnecessary scrutiny. People start keeping tabs on you, forming opinions about your choices, and sometimes even trying to compete with you. This can lead to unnecessary stress, pressure to maintain appearances, and financial decisions that are based on external validation rather than smart long-term planning. Privacy with your finances also gives you the freedom to build and grow without outside expectations. If you're working on increasing your income, investing, or making big financial moves, keeping it to yourself allows you to focus without distractions. You don't have to explain your choices, justify your risks, or defend your financial strategy to anyone. This is especially important when it comes to long-term wealth building, where patience and discipline are required. The fewer people who know what you're doing, the less noise you have to filter through, and the clearer your path becomes. There's also a security aspect to keeping your financial details private. The more people know about your income, assets, or spending habits, the more you open yourself up to potential threats, including fraud, scams, and even theft. In a world where personal information can be used against you, maintaining discretion about your financial situation is a form of self-protection. It's not about being secretive, it's about being smart. The less people know, the less they can use against you, and the more control you have over your financial destiny. Your love life is one of the most intimate aspects of your existence. And in a world where oversharing has become the norm, keeping it private is a form of power. The moment you allow too many outside opinions into your relationship, you open the door for unnecessary problems. People love to give advice, pass judgment, and even interfere, often without truly understanding the dynamics between you and your partner. But what starts as innocent sharing can quickly turn into a situation where others feel entitled to weigh in on how your relationship should function. This can create tension, self-doubt, and confusion, making it harder to trust your own instincts and navigate your relationship on your own terms. When you constantly share details about your relationship, whether good or bad, you invite external energy into something that should remain sacred. If you talk too much about the positive aspects, you risk attracting jealousy, envy, and even silent sabotage. Some people will pretend to be happy for you while secretly hoping for your downfall. They will analyze your relationship, waiting for cracks to appear, and in some cases, even attempt to create problems where none existed. The more people know, the more room there is for interference, whether intentional or unintentional. Keeping your love life private allows you to build a strong foundation without the weight of outside expectations and negativity. On the other hand, if you're constantly discussing the struggles in your relationship, you run the risk of inviting criticism that may not be helpful. Every couple goes through challenges, but when you broadcast your issues to the world, you allow others to form opinions about your partner and your relationship that may not reflect the full picture. Friends and family may start viewing your partner through the lens of the negative moments you've shared, making it difficult for them to respect your relationship even after you've moved past those challenges. What may have been a temporary argument or misunderstanding becomes a permanent perception in the minds of those who only saw one side of the story. Social media has made it even easier for people to put their relationships on display, but this often does more harm than good. Publicizing your love life can create pressure to present a perfect image, making it harder to be authentic. When a relationship becomes a performance, it loses its realness. Couples start making decisions based on how things will appear to others rather than what genuinely works for them. This is why so many relationships that seem perfect online fall apart behind the scenes. The constant need for validation, likes, and approval creates an artificial dynamic that takes away from the depth and authenticity of true connection. Another reason to keep your love life private is that relationships thrive in environments of trust and security. When too many people are involved, it can create a sense of instability. Outside opinions can lead to unnecessary doubts, making you question things that weren't even an issue before. The strongest relationships are built between two people who prioritize each other, not the opinions of the world. Privacy allows you to nurture that connection without interference, giving you and your partner the space to grow together in a way that feels natural and unforced. Not everyone needs to know the details of who you're dating, how things are going, or what your future plans are. Protecting your love life doesn't mean hiding it. It means valuing it enough to keep it away from unnecessary scrutiny. The fewer people who have access to your relationship, the stronger it becomes because it is built on genuine connection rather than external influence. Your next move is one of the most powerful things you can keep to yourself. The moment you start telling people what you're planning, you give away an element of control. Ideas are fragile in their early stages, and when you share them too soon, they become vulnerable to doubt, criticism, and outside influence. Even if the people you tell have good intentions, their opinions can plant seeds of hesitation in your mind, making you second-guess yourself before you even begin. The more you talk about what you're going to do, the less energy you have to actually do it. There is also a psychological factor at play. When you announce your next move, your brain gives you a small sense of satisfaction, almost as if you've already accomplished something. This false sense of progress can make you lose momentum before you've even taken real action. Many people fall into the trap of talking so much about what they are going to do that they feel less urgency to actually execute. They tell everyone about their business idea, their fitness goals, or their career plans, but months later, nothing has changed. They exhausted their motivation through words instead of action. Keeping your next move private also protects you from unnecessary negativity. Not everyone wants to see you succeed. Some people will pretend to support you while secretly hoping you fail. Others may try to discourage you, not because they truly believe your goal is impossible, but because they don't want you to surpass them. When you stay quiet, you eliminate the risk of people projecting their fears and insecurities onto you. You move without interference, allowing yourself to focus entirely on execution rather than defending your vision. Another reason to keep your next move private is that plans evolve. What you originally intended may change as you gain more knowledge and experience. If you've already announced your move, it becomes harder to pivot without feeling like you're contradicting yourself. You might feel pressure to stick to the original plan just to prove a point, even if a better opportunity arises. When you keep things to yourself, you give yourself the flexibility to adjust, refine, and adapt without external pressure. You make decisions based on what is best for you, not based on what other people expect. Silence also creates an element of surprise. When people don't see your progress coming, they can't interfere. There is power in letting your success speak for itself rather than making premature announcements. When you execute in private and only reveal the results, you avoid unnecessary resistance. By the time people find out what you've been working on, it's already done. There's no room for negativity, doubt, or sabotage because the move has already been made. Strategic silence allows you to build with focus and discipline. When you're not constantly explaining yourself or seeking validation, you develop a stronger internal drive. You're not working to impress anyone or to prove a point. You're working because you believe in what you're doing. This mindset keeps you grounded and ensures that your progress is real, not just performative. The fewer distractions you have, the more energy you can direct toward meaningful action. The world doesn't need to know your every step. The most successful people understand the power of moving in silence, building behind the scenes, and letting results do the talking. When you protect your next move, you protect your vision, your energy, and your ability to execute without interference. The less you announce, the more you accomplish. Your weaknesses and struggles are some of the most personal aspects of your journey, and who you share them with can have a major impact on your life. In a world where people judge quickly and support slowly, exposing your struggles to the wrong audience can leave you vulnerable to manipulation, criticism, and unnecessary setbacks. Not everyone who listens to your difficulties truly cares about helping you. Some are simply gathering information, waiting for the right moment to use it against you. Others may pretend to sympathize, but deep down, they feel better knowing that you're struggling because it makes their own lives seem easier by comparison. When you openly discuss your struggles, you risk becoming defined by them. People begin to see you through the lens of your hardships rather than your strengths. Instead of recognizing your resilience, they categorize you as someone who is always dealing with a problem. This label can be damaging because once people associate you with struggle, they start expecting you to stay in that state. You might find yourself stuck in a cycle where others always see you as someone who needs help rather than someone who is capable of overcoming and thriving. When you keep your struggles private, you give yourself the space to process, heal, and grow without the added pressure of external expectations. Another risk of oversharing is that it invites unnecessary opinions. Everyone believes they have the perfect solution to your problems, even if they have no experience dealing with what you're going through. You will hear advice from people who don't understand your situation, opinions from those who lack the full context, and judgments from those who think they know better. Instead of helping you move forward, these voices can create confusion, doubt, and hesitation. The more you listen to opinions that don't serve you, the harder it becomes to trust yourself and take decisive action. Keeping your struggles private allows you to filter the voices you allow into your life, ensuring that only those with genuine wisdom and experience influence your decisions. Some people will pretend to support you, but their intentions are not always pure. There are those who will listen to your struggles only to use that information against you when it benefits them. In competitive environments such as business, careers, or even friendships, revealing too much about your weaknesses can give others an advantage over you. If someone knows what triggers your doubts or insecurities, they can use that knowledge to manipulate situations in their favor. The less people know about what holds you back, the stronger you remain. Privacy gives you the power to navigate your challenges without the risk of sabotage. Struggles are temporary, but words last forever. The things you say in moments of vulnerability can follow you longer than necessary. Social media has made it easy for people to document their hardships publicly, but what you share today can be remembered and used against you years from now, even after you've completely outgrown that phase. Employers, business partners, or even future relationships might judge you based on the struggles you openly expressed in the past, even if you've moved beyond them. Keeping your battles private ensures that you control your narrative and that your past does not define your future in the eyes of others. Strength is built in silence. The most powerful people are not the ones who broadcast every difficulty they face, but those who work through their challenges privately and emerge stronger. When you keep your struggles to yourself, you develop resilience, discipline, and independence. You learn to trust yourself, rely on your own strength, and push forward without needing validation or sympathy. Protecting your struggles is not about denial or avoidance. It's about giving yourself the space to work through them without interference, without judgment, and without unnecessary distractions. The fewer people who know about the battles you're fighting, the stronger your position remains. Your financial situation is one of the most important aspects of your life to keep private. In a world where people judge, assume, and even manipulate based on money, revealing too much about your income, savings, or investments can create unnecessary complications. Whether you're doing well financially or struggling, sharing too much about your money opens doors for problems you may not anticipate. The way people treat you can shift the moment they get a glimpse into your financial situation. Some may suddenly expect you to be more generous, while others may begin to question your every decision, inserting their opinions where they don't belong. When people know you're making good money, their expectations change. Friends and family might start assuming you should always be the one picking up the bill. People who never asked for your help before may suddenly come to you with financial requests, expecting you to share your wealth simply because they know you have it. Saying no becomes harder when people believe you have more than enough to spare, and relationships can become strained when money is involved. Some people may even begin to feel entitled to what you've earned, creating tension that wasn't there before. Keeping your financial status private helps you avoid these complications, allowing you to control your money without outside pressure. On the other hand, if people know you're struggling financially, it can change the way they see you. Some might start doubting your abilities, questioning your worth, or treating you with less respect. In professional environments, employers and colleagues might assume you're desperate, using that assumption to justify paying you less or offering fewer opportunities. In personal relationships, people may begin giving unsolicited advice, telling you what you should or shouldn't be doing with your money, even if they have no real understanding of your situation. Keeping your financial struggles to yourself allows you to navigate them on your own terms without being judged or underestimated. Talking about your money also makes you a target. The more people know about what you have, the more opportunities there are for manipulation, scams, and unwanted attention. There are those who might pretend to be your friend or partner simply because they see financial gain in being close to you. Some may use guilt, emotional manipulation, or even pressure to convince you to share your wealth. Others may try to take advantage of your success by seeking handouts or trying to involve you in financial schemes that don't serve your best interests. Protecting your financial information helps you distinguish between those who truly care about you and those who are only interested in what you can provide. Financial privacy also gives you freedom. When no one knows the full details of your money, you're free to make decisions without interference. You can invest, save, and spend without feeling the need to explain or justify your choices. You're not pressured to maintain a certain lifestyle just to meet other people's expectations. You're not constantly worried about whether someone is judging how you handle your money. Keeping your finances private allows you to move with confidence, making decisions based on what's best for you rather than what others think you should do. We live in a time where people overshare on social media, posting about their purchases, income streams, and investments. While it may seem harmless, revealing too much about your finances can attract the wrong kind of attention. Some people may envy your success and secretly hope for your downfall. Others may take notes on what you have, using that information to take advantage of you. Even casual bragging about money can create unnecessary enemies, as not everyone will celebrate your success. Keeping your financial situation private helps you avoid unwanted energy, allowing you to focus on growth and stability without distractions. When you protect your financial privacy, you maintain control over your own narrative. You decide who has access to that information, and you ensure that your financial decisions are based on strategy rather than social pressure. Money is a tool, not a status symbol, and when you keep it private, you safeguard not just your wealth, but your peace of mind. The fewer people who know about your financial situation, the more power you have over your future.